Here even there is no circulatory system in plants. There is lifting water molecules throughout the plant body, where it is being carried for very throughout long distances. There is a transport of water. Even there is no circulatory system. Here, upward flow of water in xylem. Upward flow of water in xylem is carried by transpiration pull. So the transpiration pull is responsible for upward movement of water inside the xylem compounds. So in xylem, the movement of water upwards, that means in previous class I told you root pressure is also developing. That root pressure can develop a force which is sufficient to overcome the gravity. By gravity, there is falling of water from top to bottom, but the water molecule have to carry it from the bottom to top upside, means that water molecule should come across gravity. The force which is required to overcome the gravity is provided by the root pressure, which is developed in roots. Okay, here this movement of water in xylem in faster rates can be achieved by this. So transpiration pull is responsible for the upward movement of water in the xylem vessels at faster rates. The rate of movement is very fast when we compare to normal movements. Here transpiration pull, I told you in previous classes, long distance transports. Around 1 year of time is required to bring water to the meter. Okay, here just crossing of water molecule from one cell to another cell will take more time. Like that, if we think about crossing of water molecule from very long distance like 1 meter, it will take more days of time. Okay, here that is what overcome by the transpiration pull. Here water is pushed up. Water is pushed or pulled. Pulling or pushing, both are taking place. Pushing is by root pressure, pulling is by what? Transpiration pull in plants for long distances. Over the long distances, there is a transport of water molecules by pushing or pulling. Yeah. Water is being pushed or pulled through long distances. That is taking place. Here, what is generating this pull or required? Here, the force required for pulling. Pulling means lifting water from top, bottom to top. That is provided by transpiration process. Transpiration is the process which develops the force which is required for the pulling of water molecule from bottom to the top in a plant. The force which is required, the pulling force, that is generated by this what? Transpiration. What is the transpiration? Loss of water vapor in the plant through the stomata of leaves is called as transpiration. Here in total amount of water which is being absorbed, less than 1% is used for metabolism. Here, roots are absorbing water. That water is lifted through the stem and finally reaches leaves. Inside the leaves, in total water what is absorbed by the plant, in that total water, just 1% of water is being used for metabolism, photosynthesis and plant growth. That means in total water absorbed, less than 1% is used for photosynthesis. What is photosynthesis? Preparation of the food and respiration. Respiration also needs water. For that photosynthesis and respiration, in total water absorbed, there is usage of just only 1%. Remaining 99% of water which is absorbed by the leaves will be, sir, mathematics, sir. In the total water what is absorbed by the leaves, less than 1% only used for photosynthesis and respiration. Rest, total remaining 99% of water will be lost through transpiration through the stomata. So here most of water is lost through transpiration in water. Sorry, transpiration. Water is lost through transpiration by stomata. Stomata is small pores which are present on the epidermis of leaves, you know. That stomata is responsible for loss of water vapor, which is called as transpiration. See that transpiration. What is transpiration? We know transpiration is loss of water vapor through stomata. Loss of water vapor through the stomata of leaves is called transpiration process. That transpiration is a process which is responsible for different properties and different functions of leaves. Different properties of leaves are maintained by transpiration. Suppose if you say transpiration is helpful in loss of water, right? What are the benefits a plant can get on loss of water by transpiration? What are the benefits that a plant can get? Anyone? What is the benefit? Upward movement of water. Yeah, very good, Lohitni. Then, by the loss of water through stomata, leaf lamina gets cooled when environment is hot. In hot climates, when environment is hot, then loss of water vapor through stomata is more, we can say. High rate of transpiration can be seen in high temperature. So during high temperature, through the stomata of leaf, there is a loss of water vapor. That water vapor will settle on the surface of the leaf. That will cause cooling of the leaf. Because leaf temperature inside the mesophyll cells, everything will be present. The temperature should be maintained constantly. If temperature is very more, that causes some problem again. So that leaf lamina gets cooled. That is one thing, and it is responsible for transpiration of water. Here, that water movement in xylem strands, according to transpiration pull. So transpiration is cooling the laminar surface, that is one thing. When transpiration is taking place, there is upward movement of water, one thing. So when water is moving inside the xylem strands, three types of forces will be there in water molecules. Between water molecules in xylem column, xylem is composed of tracheids, vessels, companion cells, and xylem parenchyma. Companion cells, no. Xylem parenchyma, tracheids, vessels are there, na? So tracheids and vessels are main water conducting elements in xylem, you know. Tracheids and vessels are main water conducting elements in the xylem strand. So yeah, xylem fiber, not companion. Companion cells are present in phloem. In previous class I told you tracheids, vessels, fibers, parenchyma. Anyway, see here that tracheids and vessels are main water conducting elements present in the xylem. So between the tracheids and vessels, what is the tracheids? Elongated structures with dead elongated cells which have lumen and tapering ends. This is the tapering end. Tapering end means at the middle of the xylem tracheid more width, at the end of the tracheid there is less width. Tapering ends are present. Okay, whereas vessels are so similar to like this, but in vessels, lumen is very wide, which is present. Lumen is present very wide, where walls are perforated. Perforated walls are present. Walls have small openings or pore-like structures. Walls have small openings or pore-like structures. Okay, and tracheids have tapering ends. Like that, these vessels and tracheids are main water conducting elements. When water is moving, water molecules are moving from bottom to top in the xylem columns. What are the columns? Here, what is that? Vessels and tracheids. When xylem, tracheids and vessels are lifting the water molecule, there are acting of three types of forces. One is cohesion. Cohesion force. What is that cohesion force means? Cohesion force means mutual attraction between water molecules. Mutual attraction between water molecules. Water molecules are binding each other. A drop of water and one water molecule is there means that will combine with another water molecule to its surface. Like a droplet or molecule which is present, one water molecule will interact with another water molecule by mutual attraction. Okay, that's why here water is more polar and the fluidity of water is due to what? Water has fluidity. In biomolecules topic, we discussed about the fluidity of water. The fluidity of water is due to formation, random formation and random breakdown of hydrogen bonds. So water molecules are randomly attracted and they are broken down with the help of hydrogen bonds. So due to the formation of random formation and breakdown of hydrogen bonds, it has fluidity. So here between water molecules there is a formation of some attraction forces where two water molecules get attached. That is cohesion. Then here second one, adhesion. Adhesion. You know, adhesion means, what is adhesion? Adhesion means binding. So the polar molecule water which is being carried inside the xylem, tracheid or vessel, the polar water molecules will get attached to the walls of the tracheid. Walls of the tracheid, polar surfaces. See here, this is column. Xylem vessel column. Column is a tube-like structure. Inside that house, there is water molecule is being carried. So between the two water molecules, there is cohesion force, where one water molecule get attaches with one other water molecule. That is cohesion force. Second one, adhesion means the water molecule will get attached to the polar surfaces of the tertiary element or xylem element. Here, attraction of water molecules in polar surfaces. Attraction of water molecules to polar surface of xylem elements or tertiary elements. Tracheids are vessels, they have a column-like structure. In that column, water molecule will get attached to the polar surfaces of the tertiary element. That is what we can say second force, which is adhesion force. Third one is surface tension. Third one, surface tension. Surface tension, you know. Surface tension means in water molecules when they are in liquid phase. Water molecules when they are in liquid phase, that water molecules are attracted to each other more than in gaseous phase. So, water molecules are attracted to each other more in liquid phase than in gaseous phase. If we see the water molecules attachment in liquid phase and gaseous phase, in liquid phase, when they are present in liquid phase, water molecule will get attached to each other more than in liquid phase. That is, we can say, this surface tension. Surface tension is a process of interaction between water molecules. Here, surface tension is more in liquid phase. Why? Because, anyone tell me, why surface tension or attachment between water molecules is more in liquid phase than gaseous states? In liquid state, they are attaching more than in gaseous state. Why? Why? Yeah, intermolecular attraction is more in liquid. Why intermolecular attraction is more? In liquid form, they have at more density. Density is more. Vaisika, some doubts? I will check Vaisika. Okay. Some water molecules will be attracted more in liquid phase than in gaseous state. In solid state, if water is in ice form, then there will be more attraction. So like that, surface tension is more. So that surface tension where water molecules are attracting each other, with the surface tension, water molecules are attracting each other more. Okay, that is one thing. Then, due to cohesion, water molecule will be mutually binding. That is one thing. Due to adhesion force, water is attached to the surface of the tertiary element. That is one thing. All these are happening. Finally, what happens? Transpiration pull. So, due to all these forces, water molecule forms a column. A continuous column of water is formed in tertiary element. Suppose from root to stem, topmost portion, throughout the xylem element, there is formation of a vertical column of water molecules. Water molecules will be aligned, arranged from bottom to top in a row. A row of water molecules or a column of water molecules will be formed due to these properties. So when these properties are developed, water molecule will be formed as a column. that column of water molecule will be pulled by transpiration. So with the help of the transpiration pull, water molecule is pumped. Okay, note down this. I will adjust the board. I will bring some closer to the board. What is the difference between cohesion and surface tension? Cohesion is mutual attraction by forming hydrogen bond. Okay, but in same cohesion, surface tension are similar, but surface tension, what is surface tension means? Surface tension is attraction, right? If water molecule is more in size, if water molecule or water droplet is more in size, then surface tension will be less. Smaller molecules will attach each other with long or great forces. Attraction will be more. Okay. Whereas larger molecules are attracting with less forces. That is happening. Okay. That is happening. Yeah. Can I erase the board now? Yes. See here, these properties, that three properties what are developed. These three properties give more tensile strength to water. What is that tensile strength? Tensile strength is a capacity where it is the ability to resist the pulling force. Tensile strength. What is tensile strength? Tensile strength is one thing which is ability to resist pulling force. See here, when these addition, cohesion, surface tension properties are present in water, that three properties will cause some slowing down of the pulling. See here, in xylem column, all water molecules are interacting each other and they form a column of water molecules, I told you. When these water molecules are interacting each other and they are interacting with polar surfaces of trachyry elements, the movement by trachyry, transpiration pull, here board, yeah. The movement which is by transpiration pull can be slowed down. With the help of transpiration pull, there is moving. Okay, but due to these forces, the movement of water molecule through the transpiration pull will be slowed down. That is what we can say, that tensile strength will be given and it will give high capillarity. High capillarity. What is capillarity? Capillarity means capillary force. Capillary force means moving of water molecule. Here, this is the ability to raise up in tubes. In small tubes, if any substance is kept, then it will be moving opposite to the gravitational force. That is what we can say capillary force. Here, this capillary force is developed. Pulling force is slowed down by the tensile strength. Both are developing opposite each other. Here, that capillary force which is developed here, that will allow the water molecule to move across small distance. Capillarity is why? Because Here the capillarity is responsible for pulling of water molecule to upside. That capillarity, why capillarity is developed? That is the question. Capillarity is due to the small diameter of xylem elements or trachyary elements. Tracheids and vessels, they have very small diameter. As the diameter is very small in tracheids and vessels, there is capillary force is developed more. Okay, so that the capillary force is developed, which is responsible for uplifting of water molecule, and one more force is developed, tensile strength, which resists the pulling force. Both are this. Now, what happens here? Tensile strength is less, capillary force is more, transpiration pull is more. Even tensile strength is developed. Here, due to capillarity and transpiration pull, water is moving top side. And see what happens inside a leaf. What happens inside a leaf? Inside a leaf, there is presence of, just I am drawing a simple structure of anatomy of leaf. Leaf, suppose whether it is isobilateral leaf, monocot leaf or dicot leaf. Monocot leaf is isobilateral, dicot leaf is dorsiventral. Suppose I am taking dorsiventral. Here there is presence of parenchymatous cells, which are mesophyll cells. There is a row of vertically arranged cells, parallelly arranged. That is one type of parenchyma. Another type of parenchyma is also seen in leaf. This is palisade parenchyma. This is spongy parenchyma. These have chlorophylls which are containing mesophyll or chloroplast. Suppose this is a leaf. So the leaf which is present here, that will need water in photosynthesis. For photosynthesis, they require water. So here in leaf, between cells there is a large intercellular space, cavities. Cavities are intercellular spaces are present. Here there is presence of stomata also. Here suppose stomata structure we will see again. There is a stomata. Okay, this stomata which is formed of two cells, gourd cells. See here, the photosynthesis requires water. What is that? Is the continuity? What is this continuity of surface tension? No. Yeah, up to surface tension. Yeah, after surface tension, this is continuity. After surface tension, I am continuing. Okay, this is a water, leaf cells. Here normally when water atmosphere is more, there is loss of water vapor through the stomata, stomata which is aperture pore which is present here. Through the stomata there is loss of water vapor. So water vapor is developed. What happens? Due to loss of water vapor here, and plant leaves also require water in photosynthesis also. So some of the water which is present in these cells, mesophyll cells, will be taken up by photosynthesis, and some is lost through water vapor. So when it is lost through the water vapor, what will happen here? Low water concentration, low water potential region will be developed here, and less water potential is developed here. This is filled with from water which is present in adjacent cell. From this cell to this cell, there is filling of water. Now this cell loses water. Now from that adjacent cell there is movement of water. Finally, here there is presence of trachy elements. Suppose this is epidermis and endodermis, pericycle and xylem strands are present here. Suppose in leaf, xylem strands are present like this. Xylem strands are present. This is middle phloem will be there, and these are the xylem elements. Here, as there is a loss of water in this cell, suppose this cell lost water means from this cell to this cell there is a transfer of water. Now this cell has less water, like that. From one cell to one cell, one cell to one cell, like that. Finally, it reaches endodermis and the medulla aspect, and from xylem it is taking water. Xylem is transferring water into medulla aspect, then into endodermis, then into adjacent mesophyll, like that. Every cell will take up the water. Every cell will take up the water. So when water is taken up from the xylem, one cell to one cell, one cell to one cell, like that, finally there is development of less water potential in xylem of leaf. Where xylem is present in leaf? Anyone? Where is the xylem present in leaf? Come on. Yes, midrib, midrib, veins, midrib. Inside that midrib and veins, there is the presence of xylem. So, from the leaf it is taken, from veins it is taken, water is taken. So, veins are taking water next from midrib. Midrib is taking from petiole. Petiole is taking from stem. Like that, transpiration pool is developed. That transpiration pool is responsible for the movement of water. Okay? Here, this water force which is moving due to transpiration can be measurable. In previous class, we discussed it. Through the leaf veins, leaf margins also there is loss of water, which is guttation, and measurement of the forces also can be studied by root pressure theory. Similarly, we can study through transpiration pull theory also, where here a leaf, if it is kept in a closed tube or something, if temperature is more, there is a loss of water vapor. Temperature is not more means then there is no loss of water vapor. That loss of water vapor can be measured by placing a leaf inside a closed glass tube or something, and after some time, if we observe the glass tube, inside of the glass tube there may be presence of water vapor. That water vapor initially was not there, but when leaf is kept inside a glass tube and kept in a normal atmosphere for some time, due to transpiration there is a loss of water vapor from the leaf. That lost water vapor can be observed in inner side of the glass tube or vessel. Okay, like that we can find. Note down some points for this. The process of photosynthesis. The process of photosynthesis requires water. The process of photosynthesis requires water. The system of xylem vessels from the root to the leaf vein, from the root to the leaf vein, requires water, that's all. The process of photosynthesis requires water. That is one point. Next point I am saying, the system of xylem vessels, the system of xylem vessels from the root to the leaf vein, from the root to the leaf vein can supply the needed water, can supply the needed water. Next point. As water evaporates through the stomata, as water evaporates through the stomata, and thin layer of water, thin layer of water over the cells, thin layer of water over the cells is continuous, is continuous, it results in pulling of water, comma, molecule by molecule, molecule by molecule into the leaf from the xylem, into the leaf from the xylem. Next, because of lower concentration, because of lower concentration of water vapor in the atmosphere, water vapor in the atmosphere, as compared to the substomatal cavity, substomatal cavity means cavity inside the leaf near the stomata, substomatal cavity, and intercellular spaces, water diffuses into the surrounding air, water diffuses into the surrounding air, which creates which creates transpiration pull, which creates transpiration pull. Next point. By measurements, it was revealed that the forces can create pressure. The forces can create a pressure sufficient to lift a xylem-sized, sufficient to lift water column in xylem, sufficient to lift a water column in xylem over 130 meters height, 130. That means from root to stem there is a movement of water. If the distance is even 130 meters, transpiration pull can create a pressure or force to move the water upward over 130 meters of distance. Next point. The negative pressure develops at the surface of the negative pressure develops at the surface of mesophyll cells in leaf. Mesophyll cells in leaf and causes water to move up. Cell wall acts as capillary network. And water adheres to the cellulose. Water adheres to the cellulose of cell wall. Next point. As water evaporates from the cell wall, water evaporates from the cell wall, negative water potential develops. negative water potential pressure develops. Next, water molecules from more hydrated parts. More hydrated means where water is present more. Water molecules from more hydrated parts are pulled towards this region, to reduce the tension. Next, to reduce the tension. These pulling forces are transferred to the xylem as water molecule is cohesively bound. Okay, water molecules is cohesively bound to next. Thus, next point. Thus, transpiration pull depends on the properties of water, like the properties of water, like addition, cohesion, and surface tension. Next point. As water moves from area of higher water potential the area of higher water potential the more negative pressure potential causes water in the xylem cells to be pulled into mesophyll. Yeah, Praveen. To be pulled in xylem cells into mesophyll cells. As water moves from the area of higher water potential, more negative pressure causes water in xylem cells to be pulled into mesophyll cells, which lose the water into air through transpiration. Into air through transpiration. In this way, negative water potential of leaves provides the transpiration pull. Can you repeat the points? Yeah. As water is moved from the area of higher water potential, as the water moves from the area of higher water potential, more negative pressure causes, note down, as water moves from the area of higher water potential, more negative pressure causes water in xylem cells to be pulled into mesophyll cells. Which lose water into air by stomata. Which lose water into air through stomata. In this way, transpiration pull is developed. In this way, negative pressure or negative water potential creates transpiration pull. Simply, how can we study the transpiration pull? Means not only a leaf is required. Suppose if you cut the stem which is kept in a pot, okay, and the stem is attached to a stand, and if you keep a sponge on top of the water which is attached to the cut part of the stem is cut here where no leaves, just a sponge is kept here. The sponge is kept here which is connected to the cut part of xylem. When you observe the sponge after some time, the sponge will be absorbing water due to capillary force. Okay, that will be absorbing water due to capillary forces, so that there is upward movement of water molecule that we can observe, which is capillary theory. Okay, right. Time is already over. We will meet in next class. Prepare well for WPT. VD is blurred. No, clear only. Yeah, thank you. Have a nice day. Bye.